On to you Capricorns. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. You Capricorns have the King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. This right here is about you. This is about how these three cards are about you. This is about how a lot of you ultimately, from what it is that I see throughout this reading, a lot of you are spending time by yourself because, again, a lot of people are just not real. And you're going to understand what I'm talking about as we get into it, because the King of Wands, it represents royalty, obviously, but the wand in their hand represents, right? It could represent the wheat, right? Agriculture, right? So, or reed, right? Of a plant. So this is about how you Capricorns obviously get to decide who you hang out with. But it just seems like the dating pool is just like a mockery of what it used to be. You know what I mean? So the Nine of Pentacles now is about how you Capricorns, you have learned to somewhat be by yourselves. Obviously, you Capricorns would still want to be with somebody, but and that's something that you're learning to work on, right? Being by yourselves and being comfortable with it. But a lot of you Capricorns are just like, yo, like everything that you're doing, you just can't seem to find somebody who wants that same long-term value. It's more so about short-term, microwavable, who's the hottest couple, who's not. So the Four of Cups is about how you've tried to go out on dates and people are more so short-sighted and they're not so interested in anything long-term. It's more about, you find out through experience, right, that it's more so about being dysfunctional. And to be honest with you, Capricorns, I say that that's great. And the reason why I say that that's great is because we're at a time right now where if you fall prey to that, that's part of who you are. So if a person really is getting themselves caught up in that type of scenario where they're interested in the fast life, the only friends, right? Only friends models, the you know what I'm saying? The Chads, the Tyrones, the individuals that stunt for the gram and all this other type of stuff. Let them do that. Because all that is fake individuals that's making themselves be known that that's what they're into. So you just avoid those people and date people, right, who make it clear that they're not trying to be about that. So the Queen of Swords and the Page of Wands, like, I love this time because it's very easy to know who's real and who's not. And I love that because that's a very good time, because I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be with somebody where I have to wonder, like, how real are they? And it's the same thing for you Capricorns. This is a blessing in disguise. It really is. The Queen of Swords and the Page of Wands is about how you Capricorns, sometimes it can drive you a little bit crazy a little bit, because the Queen of Swords is about these things, these milestones, or these red flags that you have to watch out for. How to know if someone is more reliable to trust. How do you know they're not? Page of Wands, right? Then you have to also be that type of person yourself. So it's kind of like a give and take scenario with a lot of you Capricorns, where sometimes, like it is, as I said before, you may want love, but it can be a little bit difficult because it can sometimes drive you crazy a little bit. Because for you, secretly, of course, because for you Capricorns, it's like, how do you get somebody that you can trust and that's, you know, reliable or whatnot, trying to, you know, build on something, but at the same time, you got to be able to get out of your own way too. And then the thing is that the Five of Cups represents, there's some regret that some of you Capricorns may have, that you're not built like this culture. You're not built like how people are. And to be honest with you, there's no reason why you should feel bad about this. Some of you Capricorns are like, yo, again, some of you Capricorns may think of yourselves as going crazy. Like, I'm so sad that I'm not built the way that this culture is. And it's like, listen, don't feel sad about that, because it's pure. The secret is that it's pure nihilism. It's pure nihilism. You can get with a no matter who it is. This culture, like it is, I said before, it's fast hookups. It's about showing up. And the thing about it is, what people not telling you is, no matter what, the relationship is going to get broken up. That's the secret that people are not telling you. That's why it is that I said it for you Capricorns. Don't worry about that, because the secret, like, how many times have you heard as a young Capricorn on one side, if you're going to impress somebody, you need to go ahead and like buy a car, right? Show up with some sort of high exorbitant finances at like 15. You need to have a car. You need to have a Mustang. You need to have the new 2024 Mustang, right? 2023, 2024 Mustang at like 15. You understand what I'm saying? How many times have you heard on one side that, you know, if you want to be able to get somebody attracted, you need to start putting on all this makeup and all this stuff? Like, because at the end of the day, what it is people who get together based upon those qualities, 9 chances out of 10, they don't stay together. And even if they do stay together, they're absolutely miserable, because it's always about the power struggle and who's in control and having to play games, and they getting off on this type of stuff. So you shouldn't really feel bad about this. The Page of Cups and the Moon is about how let people do what it is that they're going to do. Let people, you know, get themselves caught up in this. You, right, the Moon, you just make sure that you Capricorns don't get caught up in it. You ghost. Whatever it is that you see somebody while and again, what time do ghosts usually are at their most active? At the night, because you can't clearly see what's going on, right? To go to the source of it. Right? And plus, they could play all types of optical illusions and tricks and all this other type of stuff. So the Moon, right, whenever it is that you see people acting like this, you ghost. How you get to a better quality person ultimately is by being able to identify, it's ultimately through experience. And when you get so much experience, you're able to identify real people and ones who are fake. It's ultimately experience. When a person really rocks with you, Capricorns, a person, like I said before, they're going to tell you that they want some of the same things that you do. They want a long-term relationship, and they're going to show you that they want a long-term relationship, because they're going to do relationship things after that. They're going to be relieved at the fact that you want a relationship. They're going to be relieved about that, because that's what it is that they wanted too. If a person tells you like, oh, we just chilling right now, or if a person tells you that I'm not really ready for that, or whatever, or maybe, you know, they're emotionally and mentally impaired, where you could look at them and hang out with them and tell that these are people who are going through stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is that you know that those people are not fit to be in a relationship, because being in a relationship is easy, but it's hard at the same time. It's easy in the sense that, yes, y'all are a team, and y'all are, it's you know, some things are going to be easier because it's 2 people now, as to where if it was one person, not saying that you couldn't get things done, but it may have been a little bit more difficult. But it makes things a little bit more difficult because you have to keep your ego out of a relationship. And that's something that you have to learn to manage. You have to be able to still maintain your own individuality and identity, but at the same time, you have to be open enough to where the ego does not make such a big decision, right? To the point where it ends up, your own ego or their ego ends up sabotaging a would-be good relationship, right? So that's how you know. So if a person is dysfunctional like that, you should not hang around them. You should not be around them. The Six of Wands and the Knight of Wands is about how, so a lot of you Capricorns, you need to keep your eyes open. I'm not saying that you're necessarily physically going out there. This is really more so of a warning. You need to keep your eyes open. You need to really be aware of what's going on, because that's another thing too when it comes to relationships. Like, if you want to be in a relationship, real talk, listen to some of the things that they tell you. Like, sometimes people are not as obvious, right? And we're getting into another layer of it, but sometimes people are not as obvious when it comes to getting themselves in a relationship. Sometimes they'll drop like little clues and stuff like this because they don't want to become overly confident. They don't want to blow their own ego up. They don't want to balloon their ego, right? They don't want to do that type of stuff. So they'll drop certain hints. They'll tell you, oh, you know, I got this, I got that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're beautiful to me. I like hanging out with you. You want to hang out sometime. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it could be a pain in the butt, because it's like, why is it that somebody can't just come out and say it? But they're trying to drop hints. You know, there's been many times where I've dropped hints, and again, it's just the celebrities. It's just the eyes for the celebrities. You know, Chris Brown, you know, Drake, stuff like this. And I'm like, okay, all right. I mean, completely, they're not even in the circle of friends that these people would hang out with, right? Not even in the circle of friends, like nowhere near, not even in the circle of friends. But at the same time, it's like, oh, one of these days I'm going to meet such. And then I'll say things to them like, oh yeah, you know, I got a couple of things and stuff like this. And, you know, I like you and stuff like this, and I want to hang out or whatnot. It's like, nah, I'm good. Okay. And again, I watch them go through their dysfunction, trying to get themselves in the circle. They don't even know anybody who's in the circle that is connected to such and such. So it's like you really just walking around. But let's clarify some of these cards, right? And that's the same thing for you Capricorns. Like, be aware, you know? You know, don't expect everybody to be as obvious sometimes too, right? But this is why experience is so important. Experience, excuse me, is very important, because it'll let you know a lot. Because even when sometimes people are not necessarily very upfront with what it is that they've got going on, you'll still be able to tell. So let's clarify the Six of Wands. King of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. Right. The King of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, manage your feelings, manage your emotions. Because people will take advantage of you Capricorns wanting love. Because that's something that a lot of you Capricorns, deep down, you want. You want to be adored. You want to be, but the right person. First and foremost, you got to get off this right person stuff. Because that's the same antics of whenever it is that you see people talk about this 666, six figures, six-pack abs, 6 feet. Yeah. That's a Capricorn thing. That archetype, that's a Capricorn thing. Yeah, you got to get off that, because you're not going to get yourself into a relationship that way. I'm just telling y'all like it is, because Capricorns will literally live the rest of their life chasing after this type, and they never get snatched up. But the Knight of Cups, I'm just telling y'all like it is. The Knight of Cups and the King of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles is about enjoy your life. Do your own thing. Still look when you're out on dates, trying to see what people are on. But at the same time, do not allow yourself to get so caught up with the idea of looking for somebody right? Just, yes, look for somebody, but listen to what it is that they have to tell you, right? The King of Cups, relax. When people talk, listen to what they have to say, like I was saying. The Nine of Pentacles, be stable within yourself. That's another thing too. A lot of people out here, they're looking for the six figures because they're telling off on themselves. They're not financially stable. That's why it is that they constantly need to have this, oh, well, such. You got a lot of people who have six figures but can't maintain six figures because they spend more than they actually make, and they have no way to be able to get it back. Then you have the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. The Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups is about how, so for you Capricorns as well, and be able to walk away no matter if that person seemingly is your type. Because that's the one weakness when it comes to love. You Capricorns have a couple when it comes to love. But one of the biggest weaknesses that gets a lot of you Capricorns into problems is the looking for the archetype. Yeah, come on now, we need to get real with this. A lot of you Capricorns will be looking for an archetype. 6 feet, 6 figures, you know, 6-pack abs, you know, the car gotta cost 6 figures and all this other type of stuff. You know, for on one side, the other side, you know, it has to be, you know, this person has to have a big butt and not a nice chest and look pretty in the face and do all this. And it's like, yeah, but this person could be terrible. Terrible character. And that is one of the things that you Capricorns have to learn to get over so you can get to somebody. Yeah. You know, because you got the Knight of Cups, the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Right? You know what this is? This is about struggles. This is about struggling to get out of a connection, or possible struggle, I should say, to get out of a connection with people that may have made a certain impression on you, but you don't want to let go of. So now you're in a position where you like what it is that you like so much, to the point where even if they showing you signals that they're going to treat you terribly, you Capricorns may stick around. Nah, bump that. You don't want that to continue to happen. So there's just something that you Capricorns need to think about. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you made it this far. Smash the subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.